In this video I am going to show how to draw different parts of a handrail. So these particular parts of a handrail are designated as ramps, easings, knees, goosenecks, swan necks and so forth. So basically they are parts of a handrail that I suppose enable a handrail to be aesthetically pleasing in different parts, awkward parts of a handrail. So anyway, to move forward with this, I'm going to show you how to start off. So this drawing is going to be scale 1:10, 1:10, and the rise and the going of the particular staircase is going to be 180 millimeters of a rise and 250 millimeters of a going. So on a scale of 1:10, what's going to be drawn is, it's going to be drawn as a grid, 18 millimeters spaces on a vertical height, 18 millimeters, okay, and then there's going to be 25 millimeter spaces horizontally, okay. Now the position for the drawing is, if you move up from the bottom of the sheet to the ground line, 40 millimeters. So 40 millimeters is enough to come up from the bottom of the sheet to the ground line, the XY line. Now you're going to be moving in then from the left hand side of the sheet to the center line of the newel post, and you're going to move in to the center line of the newel post 30 millimeters. So up 40 millimeters from the bottom of the sheet and in 30 from the left hand side to the bottom point of the center line of the newel post. So that's the beginning, the beginning point of the rise, the center line of the newel post. Okay, so you're going to start at this point and you're going to step up 18 millimeter intervals, vertical height 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. So vertical height 7 times 18 millimeters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 times vertical height, 18 millimeters. Then from that same point, you're going to step off 25 millimeter intervals. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 25 millimeter intervals along the horizontal. Okay, now I'm going to draw that in as a one line diagram with a black pen. Okay, that's my first rise. And it's only going to be, I only need to have this as a one line diagram. That's the ground line. Okay, so this is my first going. Next rise. Going. Rise. Going. Rise. Going. Rise. Going. Rise. Going. rise, this is going to be the landing level here. Okay, so I have my one line diagram showing a rise and going, okay, and the rise 180 millimeters, the going 250 millimeters, to a scale of 1:10 is 18 and 25. This is the ground line here. Now, I'm going to draw in a pitch line, and the pitch of this stairs will give me, by way of the rise and the going, of 180 by 250, will give me a pitch of 36 degrees. Okay, 36 degrees. Now, what I'm going to do is, from the ground line, and the center, this rise point, first rise point, and the last rise point here, they're going to be the position. That's going to be the position of the center line of the newel post. So the newel post is going to be 100 millimeters in width. So it's 50 millimeters each side, 5 millimeters each side. The scale 1:10, and the height is going to be off the pitch line is going to be 900 millimeters. 90 millimeters to the top of 90 millimeters to the top of the handrail. Okay, off the pitch line, 90 millimeters to the top of the handrail. Okay, so I've got this already drawn in here. So it's 90 millimeters off the top of the handrail, off the pitch line to the top of the handrail. Okay, and you're drawing a parallel line to the pitch. Okay, so 90 millimeters vertical height distance off the pitch line to the top of the handrail, and you're drawing in the top of your handrail and then the thickness of the handrail. Make it 6 millimeters, 60 millimeters, and just draw light construction lines for the moment. I'm going to draw in the newel post and the position of the newel post first. Okay, so this is the newel post here, the outside of the newel post. So I'm moving 5 millimeters to from the center line of the newel post, which is the front of the riser. Now, I'm not concerned about putting in the details with regards to the jointing or anything of the newel post to the string or the handrail. All I'm simply looking at here are the particular parts of the handrail that I'm concerned with. Okay, so I'm going to use a grey colour just to make these lines a bit more, I suppose, as construction lines should be. Okay, so this is the top of the handrail. Okay, it's the bottom of the handrail. Top of the handrail. Bottom of the handrail. Vertical movement of the handrail on the outside there. Vertical movement of the handrail. Now at the top of the stairs, okay, I'm going to draw in another position here. So the position of the newel post at the top of the stairs. So again, center line of the newel post is the front of the riser. Now, the height I'm giving it at the top of the landing level here is 1 meter. So it's 1 meter from the landing level here, 1 meter to the top of the handrail. So again, make sure you have the right pen. So, they're just the construction lines they are drawn in for the handrail. Now, I'm also going to do another particular type of handrail construction. So I'm just keeping this parallel to this position here by way of the handrail. Okay, I'm keeping with the top line here, the 1 meter point here. So I'm just going to draw another handrail in here. So this is purely, again, a construction line. Okay, now, and then for a different type of, finish, is another handrail I'm drawing in this position here. So again, parallel to the pitch here, I'm just going to draw, again, a construction line here. Now I'll give it the position of the newel post over this side here, so it might be a bit easier for you to establish this. So, the newel post on this side here is from the center line of this newel post, okay, to the beginning of this newel post is 150 millimeters. From the center line of the newel post to the beginning of this newel post, 150 millimeters, and it is 10 millimeters in width. So I'm just going to draw this newel post in here. And all I'm drawing here is basically a number of variations with regards to finishes on the handrail. So it's not connected to the particular staircase that's over on the left, but it is the same, pretty much the same with regards to obviously the particular stair type. Okay. So again, construction lines. Okay, so now, so that's purely just the handrail in position. Now, what I want to show you is how these particular, what would be referred to as easings, okay, are basically constructed. So this is quite severe, this movement of wood as a handrail to this point here, and then an acute kind of bend up to this point here, an acute upward motion, and then an acute horizontal motion. Okay, they're quite severe. So in order to take that severity away from the handrail, those particular points in the handrail, what's required is an easing. Okay, so how do you establish easings? Well, you establish easings obviously as curves that are pleasing to the eye, So when you're looking at obviously joint lines, what you have to do first is you have to bisect the angle that the joint, the particular intersection of the two particular planes, what they give you with regards to bisection line. Now, I could simply bisect the line according to the intersection of the 2 points there. That should give me a bisection line in itself. Okay? Alright. I could also use a compass. So again, just to clarify this, right, I want to generate the easing. So I want to bisect this angle here. Swing an arc. Okay. Turn my page there. Okay. I want to swing an arc down this end as well. On the others also, I'm going to do the same thing. So this is going to be a knee. So I'm going to generate an arc here underneath the bisection of that line. Okay, and likewise here, this is going to be an arc here. Now this is going to be different to this one here because I'm going to put a curve on the top here. So it also has basically I'm going to have a radius here as well with regards to a quadrant coming around. Okay, so anyway, to deal with the first one, I have this arc set. So what I do to bisect the angle, right, I simply, where the arc hits both sides of the angle, I swing an arc here and here. Likewise on this side here, here and here. Likewise here and here. And then this side, 1, 2. So I've established my points for the bisection lines. Now I'm going to ink these in, so the next time you see this drawing, all of these should be inked in. Okay, now what I've established here are my bisection lines of the particular angles. So you've got the horizontal handrail coming into the pitch here, and this is the bisection line. Okay, likewise here, the pitch coming up into this vertical movement up, and that's the bisection line here. Likewise here for this, what's going to be a knee part of the handrail. So again, this angle here underneath where the pitch comes into the horizontal, this angle bisects it. And likewise here, now I just, for whatever reason, I picked up a wrong point. This again, this is the correct point here where the two arcs intersect, and basically that goes through that point. So that's the bisection line here. Okay, now what I have to do now is establish the position of the joint. So where I'm going to have the joint lines, so I'm going to establish them first of all from the horizontal. So I'm going to move this position here. So this position, which is 6 millimeters, 60 millimeters beyond the newel post to this point here. Okay, 6 millimeters. And I'm going to bring a vertical line up. I'm going to use my grey pen. Just identify it first. So this is going to be a joint line here. Bring that point up. Now, that's the point. This is the point where it intersects with the bisection line here. Okay? Now from that point there, that point, I'm going to draw a line at 90 degrees to the pitch. Okay, at 90 degrees to the pitch. So this is the pitch here. Okay, so at 90 degrees from this point here, back down. It's going to be the joint line here. Likewise, I do the same here. So this is going to be the position here. I'm going to give it so it's basically down on the vertical, down 18 millimeters to this point here. And I'm going to bring that horizontally across. Okay, so where that point here, that line, hits the bisection line here of the angle, I now bring that point at 90 degrees to the pitch. So again, do the same thing again. So 90 degrees from that point there, to the pitch. Now, what I have established here are joint lines. So I've got the joint line here and here, here and here. Okay, I can then proceed to, I'll show you now, to draw in the easings. But I'm going to do this one also here. Okay, so I'm going to establish where the knee is going to go here. So I'm going to move 20 millimeters each side here. So 20 millimeters. Actually, rather than going 20 millimeters, I'm selected at 20 millimeters. I'll keep it at 20 millimeters. So I'm going to put it at the pitch here, right, on that 20 millimeter point. Okay, and I'm going to bring that across. Now, you'll notice that that does not intersect here with the bisection line. So I have to extend the bisection line out. Now the bisection line is down here. Now that might be a little bit big. I'll have to see what way it's going to work out, because if I bring that now up vertically, my easing is going to be like so. We'll give it a go. We'll see what way it works out. Okay, so from that point now here, I'm going to bring that line up. So I'll use the grey line here. Okay, now I have the joint line here and I have the joint line here. Now both are 90 degrees from the bisection point here, 90 degrees to the pitch, 90 degrees to the horizontal. Likewise here now, I'm going to select the point at which I'm going to generate an easing. So 18 millimeters, and I'm going to bring that line across. Okay, now from that point again, okay, parallel to run your set square parallel to the pitch, and then roll your other set square at 90 degrees to the pitch. Okay, so I brought this line across here. Okay, so 18 millimeters from this point here up, and where it intersects with the bisection line of the angle, I now bring that across. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to now draw in my easings. First easing. Now you can see how it moves from point to point as a radius. Yeah? Likewise here. Point to point as a radius. Point to point as a radius. Likewise here now. Point to point. Point to point. And this one here. Point to point, and point to point. Now, all we have here, we have two identical ones here at the moment. So this and this pretty much the same. But what I'm going to make this different, because I'm going to put a curve at the top here. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to establish a radius. So the particular radius I'm going to establish will be 20 millimeters from this point here back. So 20 millimeters. Now, because this is going to be a simple quadrant, all I'm simply going to do is bring that 20 millimeter point up, obviously, so that it's this point here is at 90 degrees to the horizontal. Okay, now I've already got now my radius, so this is going to be a quadrant, so I'm simply going to bring this radius around. So from that point there, around. And from this point here, around. Okay, so you can see here what is traditionally known as a gooseneck or swan neck, right? So that would be a swan neck, this would be a gooseneck. This will be a knee, this will be a ramp, okay? Obviously they are all easings, so they basically enable a handrail to be aesthetically pleasing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink in now the handrail so that you can see the easings as hard lines, okay? So these are the establishment of the joint lines, which I've already got here. So that's the establishment of the joint lines. I'm just putting in the joint lines heavy. Just to show this as a quadrant here. So I didn't have to bisect any line there. It was just a simple quadrant. This is your easing for a ramp. This is your easing again as for the gooseneck here. This is an easing for a knee, and this is an easing for a swan neck. Okay, so a swan neck shape. Now this swan neck could be as one piece. So I'm just going, before I'm going to shade in the different sections of the handrail, obviously by way of the particular parts I am designating. So this here is a swan neck. This here as a knee. This here as gooseneck. Here again as a ramp. Okay, I hope you found that video useful.